welcome to United View and Happy New Year to all of you. I hope you guys had a good one. I hope you guys stayed safe. Hope you had a good time with friends and family and whatnot. It's a new year. A new year, man. Happy 2022. A lot to get into. On a personal, I just want to take this moment to really thank you lot, though, man. Really thank you lot. A lot of love shown to United View since we started. A lot of people just showing support. And just following the journey, to be honest with you. So big up to you guys on that. That's the first thing I wanted to say. And it's the transfer view. This is what we're going to have. We're going to have consistent updates on the latest transfer gossip, latest transfer news stories about what's going on at the club and what we can expect. We're going to discuss all the rumours and some of the confirmed stuff out there as well. And January the 1st, and the first batch of news is outgoings. We knew that was going to happen. It's going to be one for outgoings. I think this is going to be more outgoings. We need to trim this squad. So we're going to talk about that with Axel Tuanzebe leaving the club imminently. One Matter also wants to leave the club, or is open to leaving the club in January, which is something that we always hear. And most importantly, which again, we've kind of heard this in many transfer windows already, Ralph Rangnick wants a midfielder, but only if the right one becomes available with the right temperament, the right mentality, and the right value. So in terms of incomings, it's kind of what we know so far. The Julian Alvarez story is kind of ticking along. A couple of outlets that I don't know too well are kind of saying that that's going to happen soon and it's edging closer. But nothing real strong on that. I'm not going to really go big on that because for all I know, and I think with us, it's just rumours. It's just real strong rumours at the moment. Something that is a bit more concrete though. Let's start with the outgoing. Axel Tuanzebe is going to go to Napoli for 6 months or the rest of the season until the summer. There is no obligation to buy. Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that. How do we feel about this? Look, this is something that it needs to happen. He needs to get some football. I think Steven Gerrard was saying they want to keep him there, but like I say, managers can say what they want in press conferences. It's who they pick, and he hasn't been playing. He hasn't been playing at Aston Villa since Steven Gerrard's gone there. Maybe in one of the cup games or something like that, but I don't think I've even seen him play there. It's definitely a Courtney House situation. Konsa and Ming situation there. And Axel needs football, man. Axel's one of them players who's got ability, very quick, very strong, very powerful. But if we're being honest, we've seen glimpses of him in the first team. We've seen some really good moments. You know, the ones that stand out are obviously away to PSG, playing in some of the big Champions League games, having to step in some of the big Premier League games and doing a good job. And us kind of going, I think I remember him against Arsenal a couple of seasons ago. I remember when he had a great game against Arsenal when we lost, actually, when Jose was prioritising the Europa League. And we went down to Arsenal. He had Sanchez in his back pocket back then, even though we still lost the game. So he's had some eye-catching performances, but he's never really been a player who's managed to kick on. He's never been a player who's managed to get like an extended run in the team that we wanted to see. And he hasn't managed to cement himself. So yes, the loan moves, when he was at Villa for the first time under Dean Smith in the Championship, came up with them and we kept him. We brought Ollie, decided to not let him go back on loan to Villa. That's where I think we made the biggest mistake with Axel. I know it's easier said than done right now in hindsight, but that season there where Villa came up to the Premier League was probably perfect to let Axel stay there. I don't know why, looking back, we made that decision to keep him, then not play him. Then he ended up getting loaned back to Villa anyway. New manager changes, and then he didn't even get any game time there. Now has to leave. So he's been led around the garden path a little bit, Axel. Probably similar to like a lot of our players. They get these reassurances that they're going to play. They either sign new deals and stay, or don't move and don't sign a new deal. Then end up in a shit situation, and then they move anyway. I just don't get it. And I think Axel Tuanzebe is, whether you think he would have been good enough for the first team or not, because some of you may say, listen, Flex, it's not a big issue that we're losing him. You know, he's not in the first team fray. He's never going to be in the first team fray. Let him go. That's not what my issue is. My issue is the mismanagement of the player. And actually, he's our player from the youth academy. We want to see the best out of him. And I feel like we've stunted his growth. I think we've stunted his development. I wouldn't say that he's been given a clear and obvious, to you, I've been hearing so much about that today while watching the Arsenal game, clear and obvious chance in the team where he's then messed it up and hasn't been able to do what he wants to do. He hasn't been given a run. Then he's been sent on loan. Then he's been just left, just not playing filling in at right back sometimes, coming in at centre half sometimes, then loaned out again. So if we like I said, we should have loaned him when Villa came up to the Championship, to the Premier League that season, and seen if he could have hacked it there. And then they probably would have I reckon he would have played every game that season. And, if they would have stayed up, they probably would have bought him. But now for Axel, the best thing to do is to move. I do like Axel Tuanzebe, I do, but he definitely needs to play now. And I respect this young crop of English players that are starting to go abroad. Not even just young, some of the even more experienced players have done it as well, or British players, not just English. Going abroad to get minutes, to get game time. You look at Tamar Abraham, you look at Tomori. They've done it recently and done really well. You look at what's his face at Everton, Damari Gray. He did it. Didn't have a great time, to be fair. Didn't have a great time at Leverkusen, but went out there, experienced it, come back, rejuvenated. I think Lookman, he's been about the place. So it's a common thing that players are doing this. It's a really common thing. I think Maitland-Niles might be going to Roma as well. So I think Napoli, yeah, you know what? Big club, big following, huge football club. And I hope he can do something similar to what Tomori's done there. Tomori ended up getting a permanent deal there. So I wish Axel all the best. I mean, it was Fabrizio Romano that said it's deal done soon. Here we go. So it's going to happen. It's going to happen. But I think on Axel, good luck to him. And I hope that I just want the loan to work out. I hope that they don't bring him there for backup as well. Keep him on the bench. I really hope they do need him. And actually, imagine this, Koulibaly, and I haven't followed Napoli this season, so I don't know how Koulibaly's playing, or if he's injured, or if the whole reason they're getting Tuanzebe is because maybe Koulibaly's injured or something like that. I don't know. But if he isn't, let's just paint this picture of Koulibaly, playing alongside Axel Tuanzebe. That's quite a nice little partnership. Something that could have been at Man United. You never know. So look, I wish him the best, and I will be looking out for him. I think it's a good move. He needs to go and get football, whether it's just to play some football on a purely temporary basis and come back and then nick a move in the Prem. Who knows? That's up to Axel. That's up to his camp, and we'll have to see how it progresses. But I hope he smashes it. I'll get to one matter in a little bit, but Rangnick wants a midfielder. As long as it's the right person, as long as it's the right guy, as long as it's, fits the profile of what we want. And look, this is something that we've seen so many times in every transfer window. I hate to kind of kill the buzz, but it was Tchouaméni in the summer. It was Camavinga for a little bit. Declan Rice comes up and about a little bit in the summer. It's been Milinkovic, Savic. We've always been linked. It's been Kamara for a little bit recently. It's Frank Kessie a little bit here and there. We get linked to centre midfielders all the time. I am a little bit fed up of it because nothing ever comes from it. We know we needed this player, even in the summer. What did I say? I said I would have taken Varane, because we had to get a centre half, and a central midfielder over Jadon Sancho. I would have. I said it then, and I still stick by it. I love Jadon Sancho, and I think he's going to do well in the end. But the truth of it really is that we needed a central midfielder more than we needed Jadon Sancho, in my opinion. Especially then because we went on to go and get Ronaldo as well. Even though Ronaldo wouldn't have been playing on the wings. But still, do you know what I mean? We had enough firepower there. Yes, Martial's obviously going to leave, so that adds to it. So we do now need Jadon Sancho. But at the time of it happening, if Sancho didn't come, Martial probably takes that spot, and then he's a regular. Do you know what I mean? Whether he's playing on the left or the right or whatever. And then you got Ronaldo and Cavani we obviously made Cavani stay. So that's 73 million. Imagine, I'll ask you guys the question. Would you have spent 73 million pounds on a top young central midfielder, which probably wouldn't even cost as much as 73 million, probably could have got cheaper than that, whoever it may be? Would you have spent that money on a six? I would have. 73 million. That's gonna get you the best part of a chunk for Declan Rice and a swap deal. You know what I mean? If you gave 70 million plus Jesse Lingard to West Ham for that, they'd probably give you Declan Rice. I'd say Ndidi, probably worth about that, 60 million, maybe, something like that, maybe 50, 60, 70, whatever. Could have got him. Tchouaméni probably could have got, or some player that they unearthed. What I'm saying is 73 million pounds, a lot of money to buy in that position that we could have used. So for me, I would have done that. And now we find ourselves in January with a new manager who is going to want certain traits and certain attributes. One good thing about Ralph being there is the way he thinks about the game and thinks about what we need. He definitely is going to pick someone who's suitable. I actually think that the midfielder that we needed before might maybe have changed under what Ralph wants to do. I mean, a lot of people were calling for players like Ruben Neves before, who can't necessarily get about the pitch and not necessarily got legs, but they're good on the ball. People were saying likening it like a Carrick, like he couldn't run quick, he wasn't combative, but he would read the game well and pass through the lines. That's what we need. Now a lot of people are saying we do want that kind of box-to-box midfielder. If you're gonna play them alongside Fred or play them alongside Pogba, do you want someone who can get about the pitch like a Kante, who can facilitate a Paul Pogba? Look, I don't think we're going to base our future around Paul Pogba. Personally, I think we're going to need two top midfielders eventually. I think Pogba's going to go at the end of the season, so you're going to need another attacking midfielder, but who can play actually central midfield, and you're going to need a defensive midfielder or a box-to-box midfielder, someone combative. And it doesn't necessarily need to be one or the other, to be fair. We just need literally like a jack of all trades midfielder, someone who can progress the ball very well, can pass through the lines, someone who is press resistant, someone who's strong, someone who's, can anticipate in a tackle. We kind of need an all-rounder, someone who can chip in with a few goals maybe. So our midfield is, the balance is off. When you see how Scott McTominay performed against in the game the other day against, why have I forgotten who we played at home? My mind's gone completely blank. You lot are going to be screaming right now. Who did we play the other day? I was there watching the game. Burnley. Burnley. When you see how Scott McTominay played against Burnley, you can see some of the attributes he has, but we're not going to kid ourselves. We've seen once every 15 games, McTominay will have a game like that where he's at it. Especially first half, I thought he was really good, which I spoke about. And his attributes actually not sitting in front of the back four, shielding and screening like a Matic. His attribute is actually to take the reins off. So squad player, fine. McTominay's definitely got a role in the squad. Definitely got a role in the squad. I'm not one of these, fans who think McTominay's absolute pony and sell him. He should never play for Man United again. I don't get that. I see a player who can have a squad rotation role at the club, but we need better than him and Fred in there. And Pogba's going to leave. So really, we're going to end up needing two. But within this transfer window, do I think we're going to get the perfect central midfielder in January? Listen, I don't want to be pessimistic, but I can't see it. I don't know. I can't see it. We're getting linked galore as usual, but I can't see it, man. We seem to be dilly-dallying about doing this signing in this area of the field for so long, and for me, I just see it as a hindrance. I really do, because we're not going to get the player that we want in January. I can't see anyway. I mean, you never know, but it is something that we're clearly working on. And we'll have to wait and see how that works out. It was actually, I believe it was Samuel Luckhurst. I'm just going to check here. I think it was Samuel Luckhurst who was saying that Ralph wants a midfielder, which we already know. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, so it's done deal from Fabrizio. And we knew that already. So for me, midfielder, let's wait and see. Let me know in the comments who you guys want. Who do you want to see arrive? Who do you think we should be going for? Who do you think is attainable? That's the biggest thing about January. We can all get involved and get excited and say, go get this player, go get that player. Yeah, we got Bruno in January a couple seasons ago. It really worked. It was fantastic. That worked for us. But you very rarely get those. You very rarely get the quality of player that you want halfway through a season. They're either tied up achieving big things if it's the type of player you want, or their clubs don't let them go for other reasons. So for me, I can't see us getting the one. And if we can't get the one, which I think we would have learned from, especially having Ralph there, is don't just settle. Don't just go for any old rubbish just because it's a stopgap. Do you know what I mean? Unless it's a short-term thing, like a loan or something like that. There was a little opportunity to try someone out for 6 months on loan. That's a bit different. But do not, please, Man United, do not spend big on someone who's just because we could get him. We've been there with Alexis Sanchez before, getting players that we just managed to get because someone else was going to get him. I don't want that. And one matter is the last one on Transfer View that I want to talk about. He's open to leaving in January. Again, is that really news? Is it really news? I mean, he played against young boys at home when he was already through. Other than that, I don't even remember him playing this year. Did he play against West Ham when we went at the EFL Cup? I don't even think he did. Did he play against them? But very limited attributes. And Mata is someone who, clever player. I still really like Mata. Really silky on the ball. But it's time. We've moved on. We've moved on from there. we should be moving on from there. And that's what this is about. This is about trimming up the wage bill and getting players out. Not that I've been a disservice to the club, but just need moving on. Jesse Lingard's another one. I'm surprised we haven't seen much more on that. And it was more of a he's going to stay to the end of the season. Player power wins with that one, so he's not going to be moving in January. So you're looking at Martial, you're looking at Tuanzebe, and you're looking at Mata. Martial, obviously the biggest one out of that can get a big transfer fee. The rest is not. If Mata leaves the club with probably a year left on his deal, or 6 months, or whatever he's got, because I think he's only got 1 year left, or 6 months left, not going to be a big transfer fee, probably a few million quid, probably 5-6 million, maybe something like that. But the wages will be big because he'll be on over 100k a week. So I think, yeah, okay, that's fine. Let's move Mata on. But Cavani has to stay. We've said that already. But I think the main ones is going to be Martial and Tuanzebe, maybe Phil Jones as well. We need to just trim the squad a little bit. These are players who are not getting a look in at all anyway. You know what I mean? We've got Victor Lindelof, we've got Eric Bailly as the other centre half, so you can obviously let Axel Tuanzebe and Phil Jones go with ease. Let them go play football. And Jones probably be a transfer fee as well because he's out of contract, so maybe a little bit of change for him, but nothing significant. And that's about it, guys. Smash a like on the video, subscribe if you are new. That is your transfer view show complete. First one down of the month. There's going to be a lot more. And let's see who we get. Let's see who we're going to be linked with. I'm out of it. Peace.